followed me to serve our Father's land.
The original inhabitants of Federal Capital Territory, today in Abuja, in a press conference, condemned all forms of maltreatment, marginalization, and industrialization discriminations being melted against them. Speaking in a press conference today, Executive Director, Resource Center for Human Rights and Civic Education, Comrade Ibrahim Sikrulai, calls on National Assembly to be mindful of the agitations across the country and demonstrate real commitment to address the root cause of disaffection across the land as Senate Committee on Review of 1999 Constitution set to hold public hearing in Abuja.
It is a paradox of the Nigeria condition that original inhabitants who owns the land and on whose ancestral lands Nigeria built its federal capital city have been over the years treated unjustly and unfairly in many respects. Cries said, in solidarity with original inhabitants, affirms that the maltreatment, marginalization, and institutionalized discrimination being meted against the original inhabitants of the FCT stands condemned. These injustices are antithetical to spirit and letters of all known human rights instruments to which Nigeria is a signatory. One of such instruments is the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, which was adopted by the UN General Assembly on Thursday, 13 September 2007. Although Nigeria abstained from voting on the declaration, it passed with a majority 144 votes at the General Assembly. The declaration makes it clear in Articles 1 to 4, among others, that indigenous peoples have the right to the full enjoyment as a collective or as individual of all human rights and fundamental freedoms as recognized in the Charter of the United Nations, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and international human rights law. Indigenous peoples and individuals are free and equal to all other people and individuals and have the right to be free from any kind of discrimination in the exercise of their rights, in particular that based on their indigenous origin or identity. Indigenous people, that is number 3 now, have the right to self-determination. By the virtue of that right, they freely determine their political status and freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. 4. Indigenous peoples, in exercising their right to self-determination, have the right to autonomy or self-government in matters related to their internal and local affairs, as well as ways and means. There is an ongoing clash of history, cultures, and civilization from which FCT DGs have come out worse in several respects. Because of the denial of their basic rights and the exploration of their resources, most especially prime lines, with little or no commensurate compensation, the original inhabitants in the FCT have seen their fortunes taking a turn for the worse. Being landless after the takeover of their ancestral homelands, the EGGs suffer higher rates of poverty, homelessness, insecurity, and malnutrition. The lack of access to basic services such as health and education has further contributed to the decline in the quality of their lives. Therefore, Cries hereby restates its willingness to work in concert with the original inhabitants of the FCT to begin campaigns, advocacies, and other forms of civil engagement, which would put the core constitutional and governance issues undermining their political, civil, economic, and cultural rights on the forefront of the national and international discourse. Cries is therefore committed to the task of amplifying the voices of original inhabitants communities to influence key governance processes, beginning with the public hearing organized by the Senate Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution on May 26 and 27, 2021. Cries therefore calls on the National Assembly to be mindful of the agitations across the country. Lawmakers should therefore demonstrate real commitment to addressing the root causes of the disaffection across the land. This particular constitutional review should not perfunctorily or superficially address the demands of Nigerians. Any efforts to douse the tension in the land requires utmost seriousness, resilience, and resourcefulness. Nonetheless, it is critical to stress that Cries is not coming to take over the struggle of the original inhabitants of the FCT. The original inhabitants of the FCT have been the ones at the receiving end of unjust dispossession of their lands and livelihoods without proper compensation. They are the ones whose environment and biodiversity has been seriously affected by the aggressive pace of development in the FCT. They are the ones that have been rendered stateless because of the constitutional rigmarole, which says the FCT will be treated, unquote, as if it is a state. In practice, however, and in the wisdom of Nigerian political actors, FCT is not a state, and this has resulted in an outlandish situation where Nigerians from other parts of the Federation preside over the affairs of the original inhabitants.
Come and say, oh, Dad, how many children do you have? And you said you have 5 children, including Unisa. I think I will ask my father, please, who is my biological father? So let the entire Nigerians tell us where we, the indigenous people of Abuja, comes from. Probably maybe we can go back there. If not, what we are calling on the larger Nigerians is to support us, to ensure that this inequality is balanced. We, the indigenous people in Abuja, no matter how educated, no matter how brilliant you are, you can never become a governor. So what have we done? Is it a mistake that God created us to be part of the Nigerians? No, it's not a mistake. Of the indigenous people of the FCT, so that that clause in the Constitution will now read 37 states.
For the federal government to use? Is it that we all along we've been saying, please answer us. Please answer us. At our own age, we are pleading. But I don't know whether our youth will come behind and start pleading. Because if you go to that Leviticus, they said a day is coming where you go back to your ancestral land and your clan. And even if there were to be negotiation, God did not say, God said the land belongs to him. We are all tenants. But it should be temporary. And that's why federal government, if you see any COFO, they will give you, they will put 99 years. Meaning, what happened to, after that 99 years, what happened to the land? It belongs to the owner. So are they saying that we will one day come back to our own land, or where do we have to go? Please, media, we relied on you people, and we know that you take our cry. In fact, when you know what is happening to us, and everybody in Nigeria know what is happening to us in the FCT, and the whole worldwide know what is happening to us in FCT, I think they will know the truth, and many will come to our aid. We have only one senator to fight for us. Others who don't even have money to negotiate are meant to go and start begging senators that please answer us. We don't have any, our land has been taken. We don't produce, and we are not even eating from our own land. So what do we have now to go and start lobbying the senators to start bribing them before they hear us?
Section 297, subsection 2, says that the 8,000 square kilometer is vested in the hand of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That section, subsection, I want to concur with the vice who said is a lacuna in the Constitution. Why is it a lacuna? Section 44 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, says no property, no moving property, shall be taken over by the federal government or individual or group of people without adequate compensation, and in agreement in the consent of the owner, whereby a tribunal or court of jurisdiction assent to the payment of the compensation. This constitutional obligation has not been made by the federal government of Nigeria. Nigerians and the Senate, the House members settled with the responsibility of reviewing the Constitution, should see the need that the 8,000 square kilometer, where about 3.7 million FCT natives reside, should be made to become a state. By implication, that shows, since Section 44 provision was not made by the federal government, by implication, the federal government has studied the land of the inhabitants of FCT, which should not happen. Also, let me use this opportunity to correct an impression. Our agitation for recognition of a state, because we already have a state by Section 229, Section 299, that all Nigerians, including the natives of FCT, the 2,000 square kilometer, which is more than 11 times more than Washington, D.C., the capital city of America, is enough to accommodate all of us as Nigerians. So it's not that we are agitating for recognition of the state status that we are going to drive everybody from FCT. No, we all remain the city, we all remain the federal capital territory, and have equal rights like all other Nigerians. But what we are saying that the larger FCT, let's be given a state status, so that we elect our governor, we have our state assembly to govern us.
1987, General Ibrahim Babangida government, the local government area were merged into 4 area councils, and namely Abaji, Gwagwalada, Abuja Municipal Area Council, and Kuje. By 1992, an attempt was also made to have an electoral mayor for the whole territory. This was later annulled because you can't see mayor in the entire territory. In 1996, under the head of state of Sani Abacha, who came up and added 2 area councils, and now he added Kwali and Bari area councils. In the light of the foregoing, it is right for this committee to amend relevant provision of the Constitution of 1999 Constitution to reflect the true structure to accommodate the FCT indigenous natives to have their own state, to promote the social economic need of the entire, according to 2006 census, 1,405,201 people. The projected population of Nigeria 2016 is saying that we have 3,565,126 people in FCT. And if those who can recall history, during the time of Bala Mohammed, he told Nigerians that there are 6 million people in FCT. With this conflicting of population problem and issue of over annihilation of our people, it is quite clear that what Cries is trying to do is to bring reality and truth to the bonnet of the lawmakers to address this very matter. You see, in Nigerian Constitution, the population matter project that we have, if you Google Nigerian population figure, you are going to see that FCT alone has up to, the population of FCT is more than 7 states in Nigeria. And all the states are having 3 senators with governors also leading their people. But in the same FCT, we are not having governors. And yet the Constitution is saying that the Federal Capital Territory is going to be under the head of state. And the head of state by Nigerian Constitution is the governor of FCT. Nigerians, which country operate like Nigeria, that the head of state of a country will become the governor of where he lives and sleeps and manage and govern his people as a country. Only Nigeria does that. We have seen another recolonization. Please, we want to let you know, FCT land belonged to Bagi, Gede, Gana, Gwandara, Basa, Igbira, Koro, Amama, 9 languages, and I would have finally report that brought the Federal Capital Territory, told Nigerians that if you will make FCT as a Federal Capital of Nigeria, make sure that this population that is above 6 or 8 states in Nigeria should never be rendered stateless. Democracy has gone over now, and we have no governance. You are going to support me by observing one singular terrible event that is happening in Nigeria, in FCT. That every minister who comes to be a minister of FCT, when he finishes his minister's role, he becomes governor in his state. Media, I'm sure you know this, and everybody knows this. I don't know whether I mention them, it will be a crime. Bala Muhammad was a minister here who created something that never existed in land, in dictionary, called land swap. Today, he is a governor in Bauchi State. El-Rufai came here and demolished people and made it look like we are better off than others in Nigeria, causing and making unrest. At the same time, today, he is a governor of Kaduna State, and he is even aspiring to become the head of state. Even today, you make any of us here to be minister of FCT, we will only finish our tenure and we will remain here, we will have nowhere to go. Our senator, Philip Aduda, his mother died in India. They buried him here. The Murtala Muhammad that brought the Federal Capital Territory that said that we don't exist here was assassinated in Lagos. He was buried in Kano. Please, Nigerians, what original inhabitants are saying, we are dialoguing. We have been making noise. We have been talking, submitting the same thing. We have submitting it again and again. This is number 6 memoranda. And when the National Assembly goes to do the national thing, the only ones will carve out what will make them come back to power, to make people vote for them, but not to emancipate people, to make people have their right and self-determination of their right. According to the United Nations law, we are the FCT original inhabitant and the autochthonous people of this country and this land.
I'm Bemiga Olamikon reporting for GTV Africa.